You've been away from the weather for a couple of months now. So how is it coming back to experience the weather?
Yeah, the weather there is crazy, Coming from hot, cold is crazy. But as a footballer, you have to learn to take good care of yourself to be able to avoid any effect on those things. So, but we are used to it now, so it's quite good. But coming back here is hot. Yeah, it's hot.
So can you tell me where you were born and how is it like growing up there?
Yeah, I was born in Tamale in the north. Yeah, and it was hard growing up there because Tamale there you can see if you are going to mention a place who are like dominating in the Legends League, there's only few people you can mention. So there was like a lot of doubts there. Like nobody can be like make his dream come true when you come from north. You can only make it happen when you are in south. That was how everybody believed. So, but we keep trying, and I was lucky. Like I found Boss Kweko, Shooting Stars, and they bring me up to Accra and help me out. But to be there in Tamale is so hard for people to notice you. Yeah.
So from which clubs did you start playing from in Tamale and how did you get to Shooting Stars in Accra?
Yeah, what's funny? I started in Tamale. They were called Young Golfers, you know. So when I was young, I got trials. That was when these people came to this Ghana Red Bull Soccer Academy. Yeah, I was there, and I was a goalkeeper. Can you believe that? Yeah, I was a goalkeeper, and they switched me and they just turned me to a player. And from there, later the camp collapsed, and I come back to Tamale again and keep going till opportunity come under 15 milo distance, and it was like when you work hard to earn like 5 man of the matches, you got called up in the under 17. So I managed to get 5 man of the matches, and I was called, and from there that was when the journey started.
Was it at the under 17 you got the 5 man of the match awards?
Now there was some national under 15 tournament, GFA organized to play, and they pick players from there who are talented to invite them in the under 17. And I was playing for the northern team, so that was when I got
You just
selected.
explained that. You get the journey to Shooting Stars. How did you get noticed at Shooting Stars? Then you moved to your current team.
Yeah, when I first got called up for the under 17, I didn't believe it will happen because that time there was a lot of talks like if you don't have a manager, it's impossible to make it through the team. So I didn't have nobody, but as far as they invite you, you have to go. So I just go and do the work, and from there, Shooting Stars was coming there like to watch some of the under 17 games, and they were talking like who is this guy, who is this guy. So they do a research about me, and they found out like I was just there alone, no manager, and they decide like, oh, okay, let's try to help the boy. That was when it happened. So after that, then I just go back home, Tamale, visit my family, and come back to Shooting Stars, and I just live my life there. They take good care of me and do everything for me. So even when we had a break to go home, I don't normally go. I have to stay in Accra because there was nothing in Tamale, so there's no need. I just have to stay and stay focused to achieve what you want. So it was good.
So again, how did they move to your current team? That is Tabo. How did it happen?
Yeah, likely I got my first professional contract in Serbia. Yeah, in Serbia. No, I went to Brentford and I did really good, and they wanted to sign me, but there was no possible like to happen. It was impossible. So Brentford started to talk to clubs to see clubs in Europe because I was 18, so and we were pushing to get something like get the career started there. So they find out and they linked me up with the Serbia team to go for 2 weeks trials. So I went there and they liked me and they gave me a contract. And from there, it was like that was my first professional contract in a team which they were already informed because the position they have never been there like for years, and they were having an opportunity to qualify for Europa League. So it was quite hard to break through, you know what I mean? So I normally play for the B team. When I was there, I was playing for the B team, and plus the language barrier too was hard. The coach only speak Serbian, so it was hard for me to understand his tactics and this thing. So it didn't work out very well there, but I had opportunity to get experience and then learn some things from there. And after that, I came back home. That was 1 year contract, so it was done. And then I came back home, and then my boss called me and told, "Oh, there's this team who need you, and the director knows you because he works in Manchester United." That was when I went to Manchester United. So they know about me and they still tracking my progress. So when he heard like I am now free, so he contacted Shooting Stars. Okay, we need Rashid to come to us and help us out since I know him before. So that was when it happened.
You talked about having trials with Man United, Brentford. Can you mention those trials you've had and how patient you had to be to get to where you are currently?
Yeah, it's hard because going to that clubs, it's a big club, and you need like when you went there, you see the young like stars. You see they have everything. So when you get there, you will feel some pressure. You know what I mean? The facilities and everything you never seen before, so you feel some pressure. So it's quite hard, but it was okay as far as you make your mind like you want to be a footballer. You have to be ready to face all those things. So it was quite nice and interesting. Like that was when like Kobbie Mainoo was playing under 15 then. So when I went there, I played for the U15, and like they see that my level was above the U15. They pushed me to under 18s and under 19s. So it was great. It was great experience.
So you met Kobbie Mainoo at Man United. Did you play with him?
Yeah, we play matches together. Yeah, when I came there, th- those times he was sometimes he used to play like wings or sometimes number 8. So when I came, he was on the bench there because I was doing a lot more than him, so I have to play. So and you are a try player, they have to give you more minutes for you to say. That was when, but you can see that all of them was happy, and the guys was coming to us like, we wish you can stay and help us. Then the 15, our team will be strong. So you can see it was a positive feedback and all those things, but because of the rules, it couldn't happen. But they were good guys, and we enjoy our time there.
Apart from Man United, which other clubs did you have trials with?
Yeah, I went to Sheffield United, and my first time I went there, they didn't believe there was talent in Ghana that much. So when I went there, and I proved them wrong, and they were happy, and they decided to invite all the shooting star players.
Wow.
Yeah, because of me, they invited all the team to come so that they can scout more players. So that was what happened. So from me and them, our agreement, I normally come back Ghana because I was young, and that was the same rules. So I'll come back to Ghana, and then few months time you go back train with them. So that was how they make it happen, like till you get 18, so that they can find a way to help you.
Just asking about the experience moving from Ghana to Europe. What are some of the difficulties you encountered moving from Ghana there, and how did you overcome those?
Yeah, to be honest, Ghana here mostly we don't take some things serious, especially like having like good stretching and activation before training, you know what I mean? So sometimes our muscles are too tight. So when you get to Europe, you see them doing that before training. So and if the weather is cold, you start to find it hard because the muscles will be like stiff to get used to it. So that was the challenges. And then some people think like if you just know how to play, that's all. But sometimes you have to learn the tactics of every formation and your position, what you need to do, what you don't need to do. You have to be here and there at the right time. Or those things, those little things, is needed. And Europe football. When the kids was young in Europe, they are good. They have good facilities to develop the young boys, so they are good in the simple things. So before you get there, you have to master the simple things, your touch, your pass, and those things. Those simple things is important there because they don't train and just start like selection and then play. No, they start with passing, patterns, how he wants you to attack, defend, those kind of things. So whilst you are here, it's good like to tell other players who are still here. It's good for them to start learning tactics of formations. It will help them.
So now let's talk about your time at Tabo. So last season you didn't play as much as this season. This season you've played about 18 games. So how will you describe your progress at Tabo?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. When I went to the Serbia team, I didn't had much time with the first team, like to learn about the tactics and those things. So because of that, when I came back to Tabor, the first year I suffered because of tactics. You understand what they know you have the talent, you have everything, but not understanding the tactics was difficult for the coach to explain to you how he wants you to do and the things he wants you to do. So it was hard. But after the second year, I catch up with the boys with the tactics and everything. I spend a lot of time reading about tactics, formations, and especially your position, how you need to move on and off the ball. So that was what helped me. And when we went the break, I didn't come for break. I just stayed there and tried to train and learn those kind of things, and even find some of the coaches who was living there to help me out whilst others was break. So when the season started, I was one step ahead of them. So that helped me get more minutes and more time there this year.
So the progress this concluded season is quite good.
Yeah, it's
So
quite good.
in the next season, what are you looking to achieve with Tabo?
Yeah, there's more room for improvement. As a footballer, you can never be 100% on everything. So we just have to keep pushing and then try to help them out, because the main goal for Tabor is to go to first league. You know what I mean? To first tier league. That's where people will see you more, because when you're playing the first tier league, is different feelings, different fans and everything. So that's our main goal now, and I think this year we had the opportunity to take it, because the first round we were at the second, and the first was 1 point behind us, ahead of us. So it was close, but the second round is like we lose like concentration, and we drew some few matches which we don't have to draw, because the three teams we were competing with at the top, we won all of them. But the lower teams that below us, we looked down on them, and then it affected us, so we couldn't make it. But I think in the future, that's just the main goal now, so we are still pushing to have the promotion next year.
Okay, now let's talk about national team experience and ambitions. Have you played for any of Ghana's national teams, and how has the experience like? Which players did you play with in the national?
Yeah, I played for the under 17. Yeah, then my colleagues was like Fatah, Alassane Uzir, the captain who was for the under 20. Yeah, and then Omar. Now he play in one country. I don't know. Yeah, he's doing good. Yeah. So him and Esiam. Yeah, Esiam. Yeah, Esiam, and then Eugene Frimpong, and yeah, yeah. And then Nat center back. Yeah, him. So our squad, if you look, a lot of us is out there still trying. You know what I mean? Some are at the highest level, and some are still below trying. So our squad was good. It was a good squad.
I read that you were quite young, about 15, when you played for the under 17. What happened between that time and now?
Yeah. The question again?
I heard you were quite young, like 15, when you played for the under 17. What happened to your progress within that time and now?
Yeah, I was 15 and I was young, and my progress, I can say, Shooting Star really helped me a lot, because they normally took us to Europe for trainings camp, just for you to get the experience of Europe, how they train and those to master the basics and those kind of things. So that really helped us a lot. Even though they know we couldn't sign contract then, but they still push money to push us there to go there and train. Yeah, I can remember me and Christopher. We went to Spain for like a year just for training in one academy, just to master some things before we get ready for our next chapter. So Shooting Star really helped us a lot when I was young. They really helped me a lot.
So let's talk about still the national team. How important is it for you to play for the Black Stars?
Yeah, right now that's my main goal right now, to play for the Black Star, because if you had a Black Star stamp on your profile, your transfer market, is something like you look and like you feel happy and those kind of things. So that's That's my main goal right now, to play for the Black Stars. So we're just hoping, we just have to work hard and keep trying and see. You never know. Some may get it early, some can get it later. So we still keep pushing. It's our nation, so we have to be ready to help it.
Okay, so growing up from Tamale coming to Accra, which players were your role models growing up and playing your football?
Yeah, when I was growing up, who I was looking up to is Wakaso. Yeah, I was just, because he come from Northern and he was the one we knew, like, he break through to highest level when our parents and everybody was doubting, like, football is not a good job in the North. Yeah, so he was the one we were looking up to, and he really motivated us a lot.
So you jumped from shooting stars from second division straight to Europe. What advice do you have for young players growing up in Ghana?
Yeah, all I have to say is, like, they have to be patient, work hard, and be ready to, like, to sacrifice, like, to chase their dream. If you want something to happen, you have to sacrifice, because even though living in a camp, like, a lot of people, you know what I mean, like, financially sometimes you suffer, so you have to be patient and go through those hard times. It's not every time you get what you want, the kind of food you want, like the food you're supposed to be eating as a footballer, but you have to find a way to eat, and you shouldn't take it as an excuse and not performing on the field. Yeah, I think it really helped us in Europe. Sometimes some of the Europe, if when the white, they depend on, like, eating good. It's good to eat good, yeah, to good for your performance. But we, when we were even here, we don't even eat good as a footballers. Like, we just eat what we can afford. So we are used to it in our body. So it really helps us, make us strong. You know what I mean? So it's quite good. It's quite good. So shooting star really help us a lot. And young players coming should be ready, like, to sacrifice and be ready to face the difficulties, because it's part of life.
So what is your favorite food?
Rice?
Why?
I don't know. It's simple to me, like, for me to eat. So I just like rice. Any rice.
Which team did you support growing up?
Of course, Barcelona.
Who is your favorite player in the world now?
In the world right now, let me Yamal.
Why?
Because it's enjoyable to watch. We, the young boys, when you watch them, you feel like, yeah, I still have more to do. Because seeing him, you are older than him, and the things he's doing, it gives you more motivation.
Who is your favorite musician?
Favorite musician? Uh, he's in the north, though. They call him Fatherland.
Adnan, yeah. I know him. I know him.
Fatherland. He's my favorite musician.
What is your favorite song now?
My favorite song now, based on my favorite musician or just
Just your
normal?
favorite song.
Nah, Stone Boy Shine. He just dropped it recently. Yeah.
Who are you backing to win the 2025 Ballon d'Or?
I wanted Lemine to win, and sometimes too I want Dembele to win. All that, both of them deserve it, but I wish Lemine win.
Who is your favorite Black Stars player right now?
Right now, even the two matches they play right now is included. Of course, my guys, my boy Christopher Bunsu.
Why do you like?
we we all the trials I've been to, we go together. We were developed by Shooting Star together. Everything we do together. So we just had this bond together. So we are just close, best friends. So it's normal.